There was a lot of self-discovery for me. Discovery during.
I don't get it.
Let's stop. There was a lot of self-discovery in the last 3-4 years that came from playing this role and working and living inside this universe that I was not expecting. I have always been somebody who always thought at every moment in time that I know myself really well, and I've year after year always thought that. And I think the last working, season 3, season 5, especially this period of my life, that has changed so drastically, and I'm so glad that it has. And I've been able to let go a little bit of control of wanting to, really know the intricacies of how I function. I think that this show helped me do that, helped me kind of open up my mind a little bit and kind of listen to myself, and having these people around me as my mentors and my friends also really helped me to do that. Yeah, this experience has helped me grow in ways that I did not think that I could grow in.
We're so proud of them, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Well, we didn't have the luxury of knowing that these were our last episodes when we were shooting them until they went back and reshot the coda. So I'll let them speak to that because I didn't get to be at the coda. I was off working somewhere else. But just so you know, we didn't know that.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, so when we thought we finished the season, we didn't know, and then we kind of found out after the fact. But we got the opportunity to come back and film some stuff to kind of really make it feel like a series finale. So the vibe was bittersweet, I would say, and I don't know, it's weird. Goodbyes aren't just hard, they're kind of difficult to conceive of. It doesn't feel real. You're like, well, we're back again, blah, 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 man, when's lunch? You know what I mean? It just, the most comfortable thing is to go to the quotidian, and the reality of it is kind of hard to conceive of when you've been working on something for 7 years like this. Even though the stuff we were shooting was hugging goodbye.
Yeah.
It still didn't feel real. We're still just joking around.
Yeah.
And I remember the last thing you do, usually when you wrap a season is you clap people out. And when they called my name, I was smiling and being weird. And then I felt tears and spit and snot just rocket out of my face. And I was just and it was very spontaneous and weird. And that was the moment I think I accepted that it was over.
I remember that very well, vividly.
Really?
Yeah, because it was Sonequa who said it,
too. Oh my God, yeah.
And Sonequa wrapped you out, and you just
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah, I was laughing the entire day. I didn't know how to deal with it. I feel like the grieving process for this show has come in tiny little moments. It's 20 seconds of time where it kind of just hits you really hard, and then you might cry for a second, and then it goes away, and then it feels weird again. It's how I've experienced it since we wrapped.
Even now, as you're asking that question, I'm oh yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
Still realizing it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wasn't able to be there on the last day when they were shooting Coda, but they were gracious enough and lovely enough to call me while I was in Thailand shooting, and they wrecked me. And so, needless to say, the makeup artist on that movie was not thrilled. But they made me pretty again.
Oh, girl, calm down. It was such a freaking crazy experience because I was, this is TMI, but I had really bad Graves' disease when I started the show, and my anxiety levels were through the roof, physiologically. That plus I was on a TV show like this in this role for the very first time and meeting all these people who I knew from watching since forever. I was out of my skin, just the levels of anxiety, and it's hard to revisit, to be honest. I can feel it in my body. But yeah, I would just say, calm down. You're going to be okay.
You know what's interesting?
Maybe a hug?
You know what's interesting is that whenever anybody asks you to speak to your younger self, at one point or another, we all say, it's going to be okay. And I wish we could just tell ourselves that now.
Yeah, where's my older version of myself telling me in this moment
it's
going to be okay?
You can be that person right now to yourself.
No, I don't believe it.
Sorry, see how Dr. Culber has taken over my...
It's gonna be okay.
Well, first and foremost, yes, that is correct. I also know, having worked with Anthony Rapp for over 25 years, that goodbye is never goodbye, right? He's been a part of my life for this long. He will continue to be, and now all of these amazing people that I've shared this experience with will also be a part of my life. So I won't miss them. I'll miss the everyday interactions with them, but they'll be sick of me soon. What I will take away from with Culber is this belief that I have that no matter how hard things get, no matter how difficult a cultural or political moment might be, all we can really control is our responses to that and who we are. And like Culber, if our lives aren't working for us, it doesn't have to take your sudden death for you to help you realize that you can reinvent yourself at any given moment, that you can create the life that you deserve, the love that you deserve, the career that you deserve, just by choosing to do that. And if you do that, you will be, you just like Culber, will be in awe of how wonderful your life could be if you give yourself that permission.
Yeah, I personally, I'm really happy, especially, not knowing beforehand that these were like the last moments we were having. I think I'm really happy with where Adira ends up, and I think I said earlier, but I think it's true. For me, it felt like a beginning for them more than anything else. Like, it felt like the start of their story, and it's kind of nice just sort of leaving that up to mystery and knowing in my heart of hearts that they would be okay and that they feel good here and they have a family and a home. But I think, yeah, it's a interesting ending for them. It feels very much like a beginning.
Yeah, I feel very satisfied with where Tilly ends up, still on the path of being a teacher and figuring out how best to serve her students.
Yes, I'm really happy with the fact that despite not getting a couple more seasons to, which I thought we were going to have in order to realize the end of what I thought was going to be his arc, after watching it, I actually am thrilled that I kind of manifested where I wanted him to end up, which was really comfortable in his own skin and still in awe of the universe and all of these strange things that have happened to him that he has now allowed the mystery of to exist, right? That not everything needs an answer, that sometimes it's okay for mysteries to exist, and that's just part of life. For a control freak like Hugh Culber, that's a lot.
I guess my proudest moment off the top of my head is kind of the way Tilly tried to protect and take care of the students she brought on the Ice Moon, one of whom was my sweet friend Adira, and how that reshaped her understanding of what she wanted to do and what gave her life purpose and what would, continue to feed her as she went on. She was like shooting at a monster and running and rolling and stuff. Protect those kiddos. Love it.
I honestly, my problem is trying to narrow it down to one. There's a moment at the end of season 2 when Paul is literally dying on the bed in front of me, and we are making our way 900 years into the future, and Hugh has made a choice to stay in this relationship, to stay on this ship with this crew and go out into the future, this unknown future. But the decision to stay and to love this man and to continue to be a doctor, and then in season 3 to become the counselor on the ship, is his way of really claiming his life and responsibility for it, and his need to create the life that he feels he deserves. And for me, it's that moment when he's saving his husband's life that we really get to see that choice happen.
I feel similarly that it feels like paring down to like pick one is difficult. I think sort of coming out to Stamets is a big one. It is a big one, but it also doesn't feel like it feels in itself. It was such a simple scene, and it was so quick, and I love the way that it was done, and I'm really proud of the way that it was done. So I am really proud of that, and I'm also very proud of the relationship that Ian and I got to portray as Adira and Gray. I'm really, really, really proud of that, and I love Ian to death, and I'm so happy that I had him opposite me in this.